This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. We are back. High school basketball is live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Game 2, Day 3 of the 2025 Titan Classic. And it's a really fun one. Del City Eagles, Collinsville Cardinals, a 5A battle. We welcome the Del City Eagles into the Titan Classic. They're going to play 2 today. This is the first one. They'll take on Edmond North tonight. Del City has not been here all week at the Titan Classic, but they're getting into the mix today with 2 games. Josh Calloway on hand, joined alongside by Jordan Ray. All right, I'm excited for this, Jordan. Obviously, Del City, a program that recently, certainly one of the class of 5A, obviously the state champs a couple years ago. We're in the state tournament last year. Excited to get our first look at them, or at least my first look at them of this season against a Collinsville team that has played a couple of good teams tough. They're 0-2 here, but obviously they played the host Carl Albert on Thursday. They played Norman North yesterday, so they've had a tough draw. This should be an interesting matchup, though. I feel like we're going to learn something about these teams a little bit today.
Yeah, let's talk about Del City boys. It's an interesting way for them to make an appearance in this tournament. But I talked to Coach Hatchett. He just wanted more games. They did not have the full amount of games, even if they played the McGinnis tournament, the full McGinnis tournament 2 weeks ago, which they did not. They only got 1 game in of that. So they wanted more games. And then Collinsville's an interesting team. They have, they get off to a bad start against Norman North, I think, and definitely against Carl Albert. But they make a run. They make things interesting. Not the same team we saw last year in the first round of state when they lost to Midwest City, but still a good team that plays really tough.
Starting lineups for this ball game presented by Dynamic Health Clinic. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Coffin specializes in athletic injuries, able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. First, for the Collinsville Cardinals, who will be the road team here today at Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse. Number 0 is Brevin Walters. He's a 6-foot sophomore. Number 2 is Austin Normandin, a 5'11 senior. Number 3, Dylan Circles, a 6'3 junior. Number 10, Walton Cavanaugh. He's a 6'1 senior. And then number 20 is Aiden Anderson, a 5'9 senior guard. Cardinals are coached by Todd Anderson, coming into play today at, I believe, 9-7 on the year. The Eagles now, meanwhile, the starting 5 for Del City. Their Titan Classic debut here this year. Mishon Graham, number 3, is a senior, 6'2". Number 5, Kaman Shaw, a 5'10 junior. Number 10, Deshaun McAllister, 6'1 senior. Number 24, Caleb Blackwolf, 6'1 sophomore. And number 35, Tavon Johnson, a 6'4 senior, rounds it out. The Eagles are, of course, coached by the great Lenny Hatchett. Like we said, Del City will be the home team today in the home white uniforms with red numbers on the front and back, the script Del City on the front. And Collinsville, you would never know that's Collinsville based off the look of them. A silver-gray uniform with light blue trim on the sides, the checkerboard on the striping on the side, CHS on the front. I think it would take me a second to figure out who that was if I didn't know. I'll be totally honest. But here we go.
Yep. Well, I think that's what they're wearing when we did their tournament game last year.
Well, is it? Is it really? Okay.
Well, they were definitely wearing blue. Yeah, you know what? It may have been a powdered blue uniform. It may not have been gray.
Yeah.
Now I think about
that's what's throwing me.
But they had a 6'9 player. Remember that?
Yes.
And obviously they're smaller there, but they're smaller now, but they're still scrappy. They have made the state tournament 2 of the last 3 years, so they got a good coach in Todd Anderson who he will try to manufacture points in any way he can.
So 2 teams that were in the state tournament a year ago going toe-to-toe here on this Saturday morning at the Titan Classic. Eagles win the tip. They'll have the first possession in their home white uniforms. A bit of a different uniform look for Del City as well. I kind of like this fresh look in 2025. And we're underway. First possession of the day. Kaman Shaw handling the ball. Gives up to Deshaun McAllister. Of course, we saw his sister win Triple E Screen Printing Player of the Game this morning, Jakaya McAllister, for the girls squad as Del City took care of business against the Collinsville girls to get our day started. This ball's knocked out of bounds. Will stay down here with the Eagles.
One of the reasons this is a good game for Del City is you can see Collinsville going with a 2-3 zone. Del City, not a great shooting team. They lost their one district game to Lawton because they didn't make a single three. That was one reason why. It was a close loss, so that may have been as important as anything else. So they need to be able to really work the ball well against a 2-3 zone. We'll see if they can do that there.
Turnaround shot here off the back iron, no good for Kaman Shaw. So first possession is empty for Del City to get the day started. Here come the Cardinals on offense for the first time. Kavanaugh with it for Collinsville, swings it across to Aiden Anderson. Well, I'm assuming his coach's son. Maybe I should make that assumption. Left-hand scoop layup is up and good for Austin Normandin, the senior guard.
Yeah, they work the ball from side to side, and at some point they will try to attack the weak side of the defense. Did a good job of it there. So Collinsville, they're not as fresh as Del City, but they may be sharper. The whole rest versus rust thing.
No doubt about it. Collinsville have been playing the last couple of days. And again, like we said, 0-2 coming into play today, but tough draw. All the teams are good here, so I guess no matter what draw you get, it's going to be tough. But we're pretty competitive both against the home squad, Carl Albert on Thursday and Norman North yesterday. Three-pointer here is no good for Graham. So a bit of a slow start for Del City. Maybe a little bit of rust playing a factor. Who knows, like you said. But this will help as a deflection. But Graham knew I think he couldn't really get that ball because he stepped on the sideline. So I think he kind of knew, even if I make the effort to save it, it's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, and he needed that opportunity. He needs to, find ways to create shots. I think Michonne Graham is probably their best wing player as far as shot creation and being able to, but he hasn't really done a whole lot of that yet.
Here's Normandin, who got the first bucket of the day for the Cardinals just a moment ago. Curious to see how Coach Hatch, if it changes anything in kind of the approach when you play again later today. A three ball up and good. Clackham's on that triple for Aiden Anderson. First Bobby Lewis Insurance three ball of the day. Bobby Lewis Insurance, great rates in 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and in Del City. It's an early 5-0 lead for the Cardinals.
Well, if Aiden Anderson is the coach's son, he can shoot.
Yeah, you always
Every
say
coach's
that.
son
You
can
always
shoot.
say that, and it's always true. This time, Anderson's shot is swatted from behind by Caleb Blackwolf. Came in and just erased that.
Caleb Blackwolf, only a sophomore. Do you remember him, Josh, against Midwest City last year?
He was with Del City.
No, he was not. Do you remember who he was with?
No.
Okay.
El Reno?
El Reno.
All right.
He had a monster game in that game, right?
Yes,
it was a regional championship at Midwest City, and he moved to Del City.
There you go. All right.
And was awesome in football.
Obviously, El Reno, a really good basketball program.
Yeah, they don't miss him at all. Not that he's not a good player. El Reno is doing just fine.
They continue to just churn it every year.
They beat Choctaw yesterday, I believe. That's an unbelievably impressive win.
Going hard to the rim is Tavon Johnson. His first bucket today, 6'4" Johnson, who is built well, just bullying his way to the rim there to get the Eagles on the board. I thought the name seemed familiar, but it didn't seem like with Del City. You can kind of read a name and it doesn't match up. Cardinals with the ball, leading by 3, early going in this Titan Classic matchup.
By the way, Blackwolf had a good defensive game, or a good game against Midwest City this year because of defense. He won player of the game, that back in December.
Putting on the floor and driving was Circles. He kicks around Normandin, finds Anderson for 3. Clackham's again. Good start to the day for Aiden Anderson, the senior guard, with 2 triples. And that's the difference right now, 8-2.
We're not used to seeing Collinsville have the lead, but we are used to seeing on this network Del City struggle early. They had that issue in their wins we've had on the network against Lawton, MacArthur, and Midwest City, but they came back and won those games. They made a good comeback against Lawton High, came up just short.
Graham's 3 air ball short is pulled in by Walters, and the Cardinals will bring it down the floor just past the midway point of the first quarter. That was almost over and back. It's pretty close. Anderson double teamed. Pass swung around, pump faking is Normandin, and he's contacted and fouled by Johnson on the floor. First foul of the day.
Tavon Johnson, he's not going to be taller than any player, but when you combine his height with his strength, and he is a very skilled player for someone who primarily plays football, he has really good skills as far as post play and mid-range shots. So only one foul on him, but he needs to stay on the floor. He needs to score as well for Del City.
Just had a Del City player get ready to sub in, didn't have his jersey on. Had to run back to the locker room. You'll be able to identify. Well, I'll know who it is when I get the number.
I can't wait to find out. I
didn't want to put him on. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. He didn't want to put him.
No, I think he
tailed between his legs, kind of ran back to the locker room, and he realized he wasn't wearing his jersey. Took his warm-up off and had no jersey on.
A more common mistake, and I may have made this when I was young, but it's so long ago I don't remember, is wearing your shorts backwards.
I've seen that a time or two. There he is. It's Jaden Johnson is going to sub in the game. Don't think he missed anything. There wasn't an opportunity to sub anyway, I don't think.
And he is probably their best shooter, maybe their best scoring guard.
Anderson for three again. That one just rims out.
So Jaden Johnson's used to coming to the game. It's not like he's surprised he's about to sub in.
McAllister feeds it to Graham, who goes hard to the rim, and a nice finish by Mashawn Graham.
And that's what he's got to do more and more for Del City. They need a scorer right now. The biggest thing for them is on offense. They can have these big droughts, and Mashawn Graham is the type of guy who can really help them avoid that.
Right-hand floater up and good. That was a nice shot there by Brevin Walters. And a strong start for the Cardinals. They got a 10-4 lead.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad defense there. I think Walters just made a really tough shot. Tough shot to defend.
2.5 to go in the first. Graham with it. Gives up right side to Shaw. Whips it down to McAllister, who swings it to Johnson, who's then bumped and fouled.
Well, that could have been an offensive foul. So Tavon Johnson's got to be careful because he already has one, but it's called on circles.
So Johnson will go to the Toonie Buys Houses charity stripe for the first time today. First one is up and gets the roll. Toonie Buys Houses, we buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call today for a cash offer. 405-931-3046. So here comes Jaden Johnson into the game along with Demarion Turner, senior guard in.
Demarion, I was told. Really good cornerback in football.
Should get that right. Missed the second one from Johnson, so a split trip makes it 10-5, or we'll stick at 10-5. McAllister and Shaw, the two guys who subbed out there for the Eagles. In the game for the Cardinals, number 12, Cal Schloman, junior guard, getting his first run here on this Saturday morning into early afternoon. Wild shot put up for Normandin, didn't go. Rebound, stick back, wouldn't fall either for Kavanaugh, and we have whistles. And it's going to be a foul on Collinsville. It's going to be the second on Circles. So Collinsville only has 2 team fouls, but they're both on Circles, so he'll have to come out. Replacing him will be 24, Jarrett Bristol, junior guard.
Yeah, even though they're not as big as they used to be or were last year, Collinsville still has quality size. And they're showing that with the way they attack the offensive glass.
Here's a three for Johnson off the front of the rim. Tough box out there. Graham went flying, and it's going to be a foul, I think, on Bristol. And it is. He seems not
he was boxing
out by it.
He was boxing out like you're supposed to, but the problem is Graham was jumping while he was boxing him out, and that just looks like a foul. Graham, nice job just lulling the defense to sleep.
Defense was napping there. Wasn't ready, and Graham, easy little borderline alley-oop, you can maybe call it, for the lay-in. Makes it 10-7.
Underrated baseline on a bounce play. You just catch the defense kind of napping or not being ready for it, and you just throw it to a guy really close to the basket because they're expecting that guy to move.
Anderson gets tied up with Turner, and the arrow will keep it down here with Collinsville.
So it means, again, unless there's another jump ball, Del City should have first possession of the second quarter.
Schloman trying to get in and does, but mishandling it was Kavanaugh. So it's a turnover forced by the Eagles. Start the break. Cardinals able to get back. Graham, a tough spinning shot. Rebound, though, is all the way out near the sideline, but it was able to be run down and saved by Blackwolf. buys the Eagles a second opportunity. Johnson whips it down to Graham on the elbow. Tried to sneak it to Tavon Johnson. Need to specify. Multiple Johnsons on the floor. And the pass was deflected and stolen.
Now, these two Johnsons are not related.
Not one you want to assume. Pretty common name.
No. Yeah, that's right. Hook shot. The hook there, but still a foul on Jaden Johnson. He got hooked, though.
Fouls on, Johnson. So Shloman was the one who handled the ball for the Cardinals. Jaden Johnson gets his first, just the team's second. So more subs here for the Eagles into the game for the first time. We have, this one's really tough on me. You have 22, Marquise Fleming, who's a freshman. The number 23, Marcus Fleming.
And they are brothers. They are related.
That is mean naming. I respect it also. As the Cardinals have it, up 10-7.
I'm sure they have nicknames they go by. We just don't know what they are.
Slip in the corner. 3-ball off the back iron. No. Rebound will go out of bounds. It kind of reminds me, Travis Hunter, obviously won the Heisman Trophy. You know his younger brother's name.
Is it
it's Travis. It's Travis. It's Travis just with a Y. Shocking.
Travis.
It's the same name, just one letter.
It's amazing you give your kids a very normal name. Travis is a very normal first name. Travis, I've never heard of before.
It's just Travis with a Y in there. It's the only difference.
I didn't know that. Looks like Del City will hold for the last shot.
Relatively low-scoring quarter for the firepower these two teams have. 10-7 Cardinals. Like you said, both teams have had slow start issues at different times. Here's a three in the corner. Would have tied it, but airballed it long did Marquise Fleming, and that's going to end the first quarter. So Collinsville, a good start here to their Saturday final game of the Titan Classic. They have a 10-7 lead after one. You're watching high school basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger.
Back at the Carl Albert Titan Classic in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. I know it's someone. Make sure we thank our first half sponsor, which is Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings, 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings offers buy one, get one wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. Be sure to take advantage at Buffalo Wild Wings. Second quarter in the first boys game of day 3. Collinsville leading Del City 10-7. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray with you. Fleming handling the ball for the Eagles. He'll hand it off to Turner. McAllister back to Fleming. This is Marquise Fleming. Marcus Fleming, 23, also on the floor. He's posted up on the block, and he gets it now. Tries to swing it across to McAllister, but kicked out of bounds by Normandin.
Marquise Fleming, more of a guard, and the freshman. He's the first freshman that started for Lenny Hatchett since 2017.
Wow.
He's not starting this game, of course, but
yeah, right.
He did start 2 or 3 games earlier in the season.
Pass deflected out of bounds. I mentioned earlier, but, I'm curious if Lenny Hatchett and his Del City staff, if they kind of try to play more guys, knowing that they have to play another game later tonight. They're going to play Edmond North at 7 o'clock tonight. Does that change anything with the rotations and minute allotment? As this is going to be a turnover lead to an easy bucket for Anderson. Anderson's got 8 points.
Since you mentioned that, Josh, Marcus Fleming, I didn't really see him play very much in the last few games we've done of Del City, which is about 4 games on the Oklahoma Sports Network. He didn't play very much in crunch time.
McAllister's 3 didn't go. Marquise Fleming, the rebound putback wouldn't go, but it was able to be saved by Turner. And now McAllister's bumped and wiped out. It'll be a foul on Collinsville on the floor.
Well, the same thing we've been talking about for Del City. They just struggle some on offense. They really need to find a way to get good high post action, as I think we have a Del City timeout. Coach Hatch will probably draw something up. Not very happy with Marcus Fleming, again, he doesn't play a lot. I think that's who he's talking to.
Yeah, just a 30-second timeout here.
So we'll see what he diagrams for him.
Collinsville leads at 12-7. Appreciate you being with us. This is game 2 of 7 today on OSN. Next game up from the Titan Classic coming up at around 1 o'clock. We'll go back to the girls' side. Edmond Memorial and Sand Springs. Edmond Memorial looking to sew up a championship. If they win, they'll be 3-0. I don't think anyone else can claim that. So the Bulldogs will win the Titan Classic with a win over Sand Springs.
Well, no, Carlver girls.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
So we're going to have to
be doing some number crunching.
Try to have Tracy on this. He's very good at doing this extra stuff here, including typing up stat sheets for those of us who can use them, which is only him.
This format, we knew it was going to be a bit of a challenge, and I've already messed up, I think, twice today when I tried to proclaim champions.
Well,
there's no.
We'll proclaim.
It happened.
If Norman High can beat Carl Albert later tonight for boys, we'll proclaim them the champion.
Yeah, they're the only ones that control their own destiny.
But on the girls' side, we'll just have to add up the point totals, the opponent point totals for the Edmond Memorial girls and the Carlbrook girls games. If Carl Albert wins against Putnam City, which I would favor them to win, but we'll see. Putnam City, they play hard. They're quick. They just a little bit offensively limited. And it's the first time we've seen Del City go with a full court press. Now, they can press really well, and maybe because they're playing later tonight, they haven't used that much yet. Mm-hmm. But they can play. This is the best Del City boys team I've seen as far as pressure defense goes.
Got a foul on McAllister there, just on the floor, obviously, first for him and the team, and that's going to be a travel.
Yeah.
And a turn. So Del City playing some aggressive defense here. Forced a turnover there.
And that's the hope, because they got plenty of team speed. They got plenty of guys who can defend. Coach Hatchett always makes sure his players can defend. And it's a matter of speeding that team up. So they sped Collinsville up. Collinsville made a mistake.
McAllister handling the ball for the Eagles. Gets it down to Fleming. Good ball movement. McAllister in the lane here. Tried to skip it to Johnson, but a good job breaking that up and forcing a turnover.
He threw the ball to the wrong Johnson, and Jaden Johnson was kind of disappointed with that. He showed it with his facial expression. And he's kind of right. He was open. That was the pass to make. Tavon Johnson was not open.
Pass saved here by Walters at the free throw line. Gets out to Anderson. Anderson, who's got 8 points in the early going, slips it underneath. Tried to get it to Kavanaugh, who had it, but he lost his footing. Wild sequence here. Ends up in the hands of Shaw, and he'll lay it in.
Shaw is a lefty, but you still give him credit for finishing high speed there. And that's how Del City can start scoring, because they haven't been doing much in the half court.
It's kind of a hectic sequence there. Leads to a Del City bucket. And they're back down to 3 at 12-9. Here's Kavanaugh at the free throw line, who'll give it up to Anderson. He's hit 2 already. Make it 3. Clack'ems. Aiden Anderson's got 11 points with 3 Bobby Lewis 3 balls. And the Cardinals are back ahead by 6.
Well, he's getting very used to this floor.
Can't leave that guy open.
Yeah, I imagine Collinsville and Sand Springs, all their teams stayed in a hotel these past couple days. And
I'd hope. Yeah. That'd be a bit of a journey back up here from the Tulsa area each day.
So he's just getting very comfortable here as Aiden Anderson.
Clack'ems right back. A good shot there by Kaman Shaw. They needed that. As the Eagles get that one to go and get it right back down to a one-score game at 15-12.
And we thank Bobby Lewis for sponsoring those threes.
Spin move here in the lane. Won't quite go for Normandin. Rebound scooped up by Jaden Johnson. Start the break for the Eagles. Johnson down the floor. Handoff Shaw. Going to go for another one. Clack'ems. Back-to-back Bobby Lewis 3 balls for Kaman Shaw. And just like that, we're all tied up 15 apiece with 4:39 to play until halftime. And Collinsville wants a timeout to talk about it.
Well, Kaman Shaw, he was our player of the game when they beat Lawton MacArthur. He shot the ball real well in the fourth quarter. If you're like, who on Carl Albert do you want shooting? And Kaman Shaw is one. Jaden Johnson is the other. They can start making those. Again, they're kind of streaky. Like I mentioned, they didn't make a single 3 in the last game we've had them on the network, which was against Lawton High earlier this month. But those are 2 guys who can do it. And if you play zone against Del City the whole time, like Collinsville likes to do, at some point those guys will start hitting threes, and Kaman Shaw has now gotten going there. I think he has 8 points. I think he has the last 8 points.
Yeah, very quick 8. And it ties us up 15-all with 4:39 to go until halftime. Kind of felt like if you're Collinsville, you worked kind of hard. You played well the first quarter and a half. Had yourself a 6-point lead, and then in the blink of an eye, Shaw 2 threes, and there it goes, and now we're tied.
Oh, they just stopped playing the music. It's like, you got to stop playing the music when that ball's about to be inbounded. Good music, though.
Guess no home team can get a technical when it's a neutral site game, though.
No, but the Collinsville fans will think this is a Del City home game.
Mid-Del teams obviously all bunched up, know each other very well.
Well, Coach Hatchett's going to make 3 trips here. You can do that when you're close by.
Normandin thought he kept his pivot foot. Official disagreed, said he shuffled it, so that's a travel and a turnover.
Yeah, Coach Hatchett told me before the game they're going to get something to eat after this game, bring the team back to Del City.
I was curious how you're going to handle that. Obviously, their night game's not till much later. It's a 7 o'clock tip, so you're looking at 6-hour gap or so. Jaden Johnson's 3 is left short.
But to finish that thought, Coach Hatchett said he'll come back to watch his daughter play for the Carlsbad girls team,
there you go.
Malia, then go back to Del City and pick up his team during the Carlsbad boys game, and they'll be back here for their second game of the night.
Turnaround shot for Normandin is good. Collinsville back ahead. How far is that drive, Del City to here? I mean, it's not far, but that's a lot of back and forth for Coach Hatchett.
You take I-40, which you're not on I-40 for very long. It's about 10 minutes.
Not bad then, because if he's going to go back and forth 3 times, Jaden Johnson for 3, no good. I see Midwest City not far from here either. The Bombers.
No, I've made trips from every high school to the other high school. So I have it mapped out pretty well.
Jumper from the free throw line is good for Brevin Walters. So a nice response by Collinsville with back-to-back buckets here to get their lead back out to 4.
Yeah, they're not getting all the way to the paint is Collinsville, but they find that mid-range game kind of around the high post. They're scoring from there.
And Graham just left that floater short. He was in good positioning, just kind of short-armed it.
It may have been partially blocked.
Blackwell forces a turnover, though. Bounce pass to Graham. That's a great decision to get it right back to him, and Blackwell finishes it.
If Graham had tried to catch that cleanly, he may have traveled. But he tapped it back. Oh, almost got a steal there, too.
He is flying around the court. It is Mashawn Graham.
Sometimes if you have a bad offensive sequence, like Graham had an air ball, which I think that shot was partially blocked, that can lead you to really getting going on defense because you're really upset. So you're like, give me this ball back.
Normandin the inbound. Back in the game is Kavanaugh here for the Cardinals, and that's going to be another travel.
You can see him drag his pivot foot, and this is why you press. You speed up the other team more than what they're used to.
Yeah,
I don't think Collinsville plays too many teams unless they play Booker T. I don't remember if in Booker T's district or maybe Tulsa Memorial. But too many teams that will speed you up on defense like that.
We've seen Del City's defense force a couple of travels now in this first half. 3 ball for Shaw, left short, hit the 2 earlier. Rebound, though, battled and fought for by Tavon Johnson. And he's fouled and going to get himself to the free throw line to shoot a couple and maybe try to even this game back up.
He's always a threat. You have to remember him if you're Del City on offense. This was an offensive rebound, but he can give you points in the paint. You don't want to go away from him for too long.
Foul on. Kavanaugh is his first. And Johnson shooting 2, and he leaves the first one short at the Tooting by South's charity stripe. Back in the game comes Demarion Turner. He replaces Jaden Johnson. Also backing for Collinsville is Dylan Circles. He comes in for Kavanaugh, who got that foul a moment ago. Second one for Tavon Johnson is good. It's a 1-point game.
I know what I told you, Josh. I didn't think the girls' game would be that close, although it was for a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if this game remains close. Because Collinsville boys, they've shown the ability to make runs. Mm-hmm. They've already made one early in the game.
Now Anderson overhanding the basketball. Boy, a lot of, I don't want to say they're unforced turnovers because Del City's pressure is helping cause some of these, but the travels and right there, Collinsville kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
I'd say that was unforced. Anderson, we know he's a good player. Turner's a good defender, but Turner wasn't really doing anything tricky there. He was just staying with Anderson.
Final 2 minutes of the first half. 1 point game, 19-18. Open look at a three for Graham. Air ball.
Well, he's had a couple of air balls.
Yeah, I can tell he's getting a little frustrated.
He just doesn't have the shot right now like his brother Michael did for them last year, if you remember Michael Graham.
Yes.
They were late move-ins. When I say late, they came in mid to late January, but gave him a real shot in the arm, and big reason why they made it back to state.
So Del City, great run to state tournament last year as the defending champs after that awesome team 2 years ago. Also led by Brandon Garrison. Turnaround shot no good, which Brandon Garrison playing big minutes on Kentucky this year.
Yep.
Fun to see, obviously, after
there's been some high-scoring games. And
getting him on the OSN, Oklahoma Sports Network, so many times when he was an Eagle.
Well, 2 state title teams he was on.
3 ball no good for Black Wolf. Rebound coming out for the Cardinals was Normandin. Anderson hands it off. Walter started with the deep three. Instead, he'll put on the floor. Bank shot goes.
Awkward shot, but it worked.
That whole sequence. He initially pumped it to three. His heels were almost on the sideline. He was so far deep, but decided to put on the floor. And then, like you said, kind of herky-jerky, but shot went in, and he got the foul. So a chance for the three-point play for Brevin Walters.
Yeah, I mean, Turner didn't really do anything wrong there. Just it was kind of an awkward shot, and sometimes defenders are caught by surprise, or it just looks like a foul to a ref.
Mm-hmm. Walter just a sophomore for these Cardinal squad in the starting 5 and doing some good things. And
yeah, he's had a good game. He's made some tough shots. And again, they're not all the way into the paint. They're kind of mid-range shots, but he's being aggressive when he takes those shots. He's going to the basket.
Here's Shaw on the elbow, kicks it around to Graham. Back to Shaw, he'll fire. Back iron nose, right on line but too strong. Anderson runs down the board. And the Cardinals have it back, leading by 4. Double teamed, able to get it ahead to Walters, who crosses half court. Turnaround from the elbow is good. Nice shot by Dylan Circles. And the lead is out to 6 for Collinsville. Still 10 seconds to work with here for Del City to try and get one more shot up. Graham on the wing in the corner to Turner, gives it back to Graham. He'll fire. And that one way too strong. And that's going to end a really solid first half for the Collinsville Cardinals as they hold a 24-18 lead at the end of the first 16 minutes. All right, we'll step aside here. Quick halftimes, I keep saying that. Don't go too far. Back in just a few minutes for the second half as Collinsville leads Del City 24-18. You're watching the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, There's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, God hail, call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back to Titan Classic. Just moments away from getting the second half started. I want to make sure we thank our title sponsor of this year's tournament on OSN, which is J.R. Rowlett Realty. Client-focused, results-driven. Call J.R. Rowlett for all your real estate needs at 405-445-8971, helping us bring you every game of the 2025 Titan Classic. Look at the schedule for the rest of the day. This is game 2 of 7 on OSN today from Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse. Like we said, next up will be Ed Memorial and Sand Springs Girls, and the Sand Springs Girls will boys will then take the court after that against Norman North. Carl Albert tonight, and of course, these Del City Eagles against Edmond North. Great way to cap off the tournament coming up tonight at 7. So we're about ready to start the second half from Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse. Make sure to thank our second half sponsor, which is CK12 Designs. 1 Corinthians 13:8 says, "Love never fails," brought to you by CK12 Designs. Designers and builders of everything custom for your home, from custom cabinets to dining room tables. We do it all. Modern industrial in farmhouse designs. Come visit our manufacturing facility, 8209 Northeast 23rd Street, or our downtown store at 820 North Broadway in OKC. CK12 Designs wants you to know Jesus loves you. All right, here we go. Collinsville starts the second half, leading by 6. Good start for the squad from Tulsa, but another travel. We've seen a lot of that in this game.
Yeah, you're not going to dribble by Caleb Blackwolf very easily. He's both strong and quick. He will stay attached to you on defense, and he forced that travel right there.
So the Eagles down by 6. Got to mount a little bit of a mini comeback in the second half. Certainly not a huge hole, but a hole. Turnaround shot for Tavon Johnson doesn't go. Rebound is pulled down by Walters.
That is a good shot for Tavon Johnson. Just off on that. They need to figure out a way how to get something going on the high post. They need to attack the high post, this Del City, and try to see what's open from there.
Here's Anderson, who had a nice first half for the Cardinals. Feeds it off to Kavanaugh. Goes strong to the rim. Didn't finish it. Rebound pulled in by Johnson. Start the break. Here's Blackwolf, scooping it to Graham. Missed the layup. Put back Blackwolf, no. But Graham able to save the rebound again. Leads to a lefty floater for Shaw, which is off the mark. So Del City just not real sharp. Yeah, just not a lot of feel right now offensively for the Eagles. And a great spin move and finish at this end for Dylan Circles.
It's all about shot making right now. Collinsville, Circles, Kavanaugh, a couple other players have made not layups, but they've gotten close up to the basket to make a very skilled shot. Del City can't buy a basket right now. Mishon Graham with a couple of missed layups.
Step back for Blackwolf. Clackham right on cue. That's a big shot. It feels like Bobby Lewis 3-ball. As Del City kind of struggling for offense. Who's going to start making some shots? Maybe it's Caleb Blackwolf. He hits a big one there.
Well, if you remember from last year when you did his game, he's more of an inside player on offense. Now I think he'll be more of a guard as his basketball career develops.
Yeah.
But he's not really a noted three-point shooter, so you kind of take that as a bonus shot for you. Yeah, but maybe he'll get hot.
Blackwolf just a sophomore, like you said. I mean, he's still got a lot of basketball in front of him.
Unless he decides to concentrate on football only, which I hope he doesn't do. But that it will be his career in college, is football. Man, some of the shots they're making.
Yeah, turnaround shot for Brevin Walters is good. Nice floater there.
I'd say Walters is a good candidate for player of the game. He's just made some kind of awkward-looking shots, but it's very effective.
Shot almost banked home for Graham, but off the mark. As Graham continuing to kind of struggle on the offensive end. Very active, making things happen elsewhere, but the shot hasn't been there so far. We have a whistle and a foul here. It's going to go on the Eagles. Looks like it's going to be, who got hit with it? I think Blackwolf? Yeah, his first.
And Graham's still playing hard. He made a good attempt at a block there. May have been a block if it wasn't for the foul called on Blackwolf.
So Tooney buys houses free throws for Brevin Walters, who, like you said, playing a really nice game right now. Also just a sophomore, so some young guys making things happen in this game on both sides. But Collinsville has opened up their biggest lead of the day right now at 8 and can add to it again here with another free throw, and they do. It's a 9-point lead for the Cardinals.
They're just a better shooting team. That is the difference right there. Del City's forced some turnovers, but they haven't scored enough for that to really matter.
McAllister slips underneath to Johnson. Turnaround shot for Tavon Johnson won't go. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Del City ball. No, it'll be Collinsville basketball.
Now, Del City won an important game Tuesday, more important than this game, a district battle with John Marshall to take sole possession of second place. That game went to overtime.
Yeah, we were keeping up with that. We were in Bethany on Tuesday. Crossing half court here is Circles, being hounded by Graham.
So this game's in an unusual time for them. You know, it was recently scheduled, and they're just not very sharp right now.
Yeah. And we talked about it. I mean, obviously you play Tuesday. It's not like they've been off for weeks, but
right, they got plenty of rest.
It's a little bit of rust. You know, you could come out a little slow. It's also an early tip. You don't play a ton of games this early.
But sometimes for high school teams or any sports teams, it can be hard to go from a really big, meaningful win, and then you got to play a game that, you look forward to it. It's not really much of a road game because it's only about 10 minutes away from your high school, but it just doesn't mean as much. And it's not to make excuses for Del City. I just think that maybe that explains a little bit of their bad shooting. But you got to give Collinsville a lot of credit, of course, for their points. They score again to take an 11-point lead.
Yeah, nice pump fake by Cal Schloman. Guys went flying by him. and he put it in.
So everything I was talking about just simply is to connect to Del City's lack of shooting.
You also factor in they play again later today, and it's a big game against Edmond North. Maybe get caught looking ahead a little bit. You would never admit that, but
it's just a
potential
brick
another
house.
factor, and another missed shot. Like you said, Del City's just not hitting shots. Collinsville is.
From all over, free throws, threes, that's what they need.
This will help. Graham forced a turnover and gets the
Boy, he
I almost said
cannot
easy lay.
score.
Good hustle back by Kavanaugh helped force that miss, but thankfully for Del City's sake, hustling back, I think that was Black Wolf, right, who cleaned that up. Was it McAllister? They both were down there.
I think it was McAllister.
McAllister got the bucket. Got a timeout taken. It's a full for Lenny Hatchet as he wants to talk to his team. 4:19 to go in the third. Cardinals by 9 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Back at Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The Titan Classic, game 2 of day 3. 4:19 to go in the third. Collinsville leading Del City 32-23. Maybe a little bit of a surprise here as Cardinals playing really well right now. Del City is not able to really get it going offensively, but still a quarter and a half to go. With the Cardinals leading by 9, but that music right up to the inbound. Schloman whips it around to Brevin Walters, who's been really good for Collinsville today, and there he goes. A great pass, but a good block from behind to wipe out that shot from Kavanaugh. Leads to a break for the Eagles.
It's not that Del City hasn't played hard on defense, but if they're going to come back, they probably got to play harder.
Black Wolf turnaround shot is good.
It's all flop there.
Yeah, Kavanaugh tried to sell it, didn't get it, and it was an easy lay-in for Black Wolf. So a couple of buckets for Del City. They're back within 7 at 32-25. Can they build on that offensively? Will be the question. Here's Kavanaugh. Right side to Normandin. Takes a double team, gets around his guys, pulls up from just in front of the free throw line. Oh, that is silky smooth from the lefty, Austin Normandin. Lead back to 9.
Yeah, they're just really good right now at finding their spots.
Yeah. Turnaround shot for Black Wolf at the elbow is good. So Caleb Black Wolf seems to be heating up a little bit in this third quarter.
And he's heated up as a guard, not really an inside player.
Right.
Very good development for Del City.
And here's what you're going to need as a turnover. Ball's on the deck. Going to go to the arrow, and that's with Del City. So Jaden Johnson and Blackwell trapping Schloman there, and they poked it loose, got the tie-up, and the arrow keeps it down here with the Eagles. Stealing possessions. Marquise Fleming going to sub in, going to get Black Wolf a blow after he did a lot in the first part of this third quarter. Meanwhile, back in for Collinsville comes Dylan Circles. He'll replace Schloman. McAllister's got to get it in. Oh, and it's stolen by Walters. He continues his good day, so a bad turnover there.
Yeah, just McAllister not really paying attention to where the defense is.
Circles gets it across half court for the Cardinals, takes a double team, and contact and a foul.
McAllister trying to get it back. Yeah, he will. He's really good at trapping. He wants to get that ball just like his sister does when she plays for the Del City girls team. But in that case, he made contact reaching in. No fouls on Collinsville this quarter. 3 on Del City.
Second personal on McAllister. He's, like you said, team third. Collinsville none yet. Normandin being watched by Fleming. Black Wolf set to check back in. So a short break for him. And so come in the next opportunity. Walters, tough shot, won't go, but he's bumped in, fouled again. So that's going to be the 4th foul on the Eagles. So put Collinsville in the bonus the rest of this third quarter. And Brevin Walters, who's a very good shooter, is going to head to the Toonie Bice House's cherry stripe to shoot a couple more.
Tavon Johnson's not going to be along the free throw lane, but no one from Collinsville is, so you don't really need your best rebounders there.
So Walters shooting a pair here. First one rattles home. Black Wolf back in. He'll replace Tavon Johnson.
And that's why he wasn't down the lane. So now Del City without a traditional big man, and that may be what they need to try to get a spark here. So in the first half, we had Marcus Fleming replace Tavon Johnson, but that won't be the case in this half.
9-point lead for the Cardinals. Here's Marquise Fleming. Gives up to Shaw. He'll take a 3-ball. He had a couple in the first half. This one will not go, and it bounced off the top of the backboard. So even though McAllister was in position to get that board, it goes out of bounds. Del City just not able to find an offensive rhythm. They're still down 9, so, I mean, a good stretch can tighten this thing back up. But right now, just not able to find good, or I shouldn't say not able to find good shots. They're not able to hit shots, really, more than that. As we have a foul here, this isn't going to help either. As the foul, that's their 5th. That's going to be more free throws for the Cardinals.
Yeah, you can't take that gamble when you're in the penalty.
Especially on this guy, Brevin Walters, who's been rock solid for the Cardinals, and he's a good free throw shooter. So he'll go shoot 2 here to make this a double-digit lead if he can hit just 1. I jinxed him, missed the first.
We've got some Del City fans not happy with the lack of foul calls against Collinsville, but I can't say that that's not the way it's supposed to be, really.
Got the second, so it's a 10-point lead. Anytime one team is in the bonus, the other team has got no fouls at all. It's a little eye-popping. Like you said, I can't really think of right offhand a lot of calls that, could have been. It's just kind of been the way it's gone. Johnson in the corner to Shaw. Kicks it out, or tried to Blackwell, but it's deflected and stolen. I think that was Bristol got the first deflection. And the Cardinals have it back, leading by 10. Crossing half court here is Circles. Trying to shake McAllister, does get around him. In the corner, Bristol for 3. Side of the rim, no good. Long rebound, though, comes out to Anderson. Collinsville gets a second try at it. And a whistle and another foul on the Eagles. More free throws coming for Collinsville. So this is just killing Del City right now, as the Cardinals just keep on taking trips to the free throw line.
Now that one is questionable. I think Caleb Blackwolf was in position there.
First one for Anderson is good. He goes out to 11. This matchup, like we said, 2 teams that were both in the state tournament a year ago. Of course, Del City state champs of a couple seasons ago. Friendly roll there. That wild, epic win over Carl Albert that we had on OSN. Never forget that game.
Yeah, and then we both teams had, you can call them wild losses in the first round of the state tournament last year.
Yeah. But the other Mid-Del team, Midwest City, came in and swooped in and won a gold ball in that spot last year. Hoping for more of the same in 2025. As a foul here will this time send a Del City Eagle to the free throw line. It'll be Jaden Johnson shooting 2. Second foul charged against Bristol. And some big free throws here for Del City. They need just some points. First one offline.
It just gets magnified when you're in this type of slump that every shot you take, you feel so much pressure when you take it.
Second one for Johnson is good, so a split trip.
They're going to keep pressing this, Del City. Just got to try to do it without fouling.
Yeah. Need turnovers, but you're right. When you're in the bonus, that's the scary part. Circles, trapped in the corner, able to hand it off to Normandin. He's now kind of trapped on the side. Able to get it back to Circles. Now Walters over to Anderson, who's a really good shooter. Left that one short, though. Rebound out of bounds. It'll be Eagle ball. So you get a stop. Now can they go get points at the other end?
Collinsville stayed in that 2-3 zone, or A zone. Now it looks like 3-2. Interesting switch there, but
Johnson pump fakes the deep 3. He'll give it off to Fleming, who's got room. The lefty left it short. Rebound, though. Pulled down by Blackwolf. Put back. No, but he's fouled. So Caleb Blackwolf has been the one really kind of making it go for Del City in this third quarter, excuse me. And he's fouled here. Will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. That's the 3rd personal on Dylan Circles also, worth noting. Toonie by his house to share your stripes and big free throws for Caleb Blackwolf. Again, they're all kind of big. You need to take advantage of these trips to the line right now.
Yeah, when it's a 3-2 zone you're going up against, that's a more perimeter-oriented zone than a 2-3. You don't have a guy in the middle, and that's when you should definitely try to attack the offensive glass, especially since they're getting open threes. Del City can probably get an open three whenever they want right now because they're just not making them. So Collinsville's going to pack it in. So now what you have to also do is get offensive rebounds like Caleb Blackwolf did, and that got him a couple points.
Makes them both back down to single digits at 39-30. Walters across half court. Tried to get it to Normandin. It was deflected into the backcourt by Shaw. Normandin goes diving after it. And Collinsville's going to slip a timeout in, as that was kind of just looking a bit chaotic in general for the Cardinals.
You know, Todd Anderson, he will call timeouts early in games to save possessions. And throughout the games, I think in their 2 games they played here, he was out of timeouts by around the 2-minute mark. Of course, they were trailing in those games. They were trying to come from behind.
Right.
But even now, they're down to, well, I was looking at the wrong score count.
But it's only their second one.
They're down to 3. They're at 3. So's Del City. So actually, Del City had more timeouts called before that. A little interesting to see how the timeout game works in the 4th quarter.
So it's a 9-point lead for the Cardinals. 39.8 seconds to play in this 3rd frame. Cardinals can't win the Titan Classic after the 0-2 start. Del City technically can, but they obviously have to go 2-0 and then get some help elsewhere.
They would need
Norman to lose tonight.
Yeah. Norman to lose to Carl Albert.
As the Eagles will turn around and play the nightcap tonight in what should be a fun one against Edmond North. And that's going to be a travel.
That's a good trap.
Moving the feet. So, yeah, good defense. Force the turnover. Eagles have it back.
Del City's a better trapping team than in recent years because we mentioned before Brandon Garrison, they didn't have to really play pressure defense when you had him because they weren't playing from behind very much. Although they did some. They were against Carl Albert in that championship game, but they could just rely on funneling the defense to him, and he would protect the paint.
Here's Jaden Johnson with it. Over to Shaw, left side. Now Fleming. Back to Johnson on the right. He'll back it up. Sean Johnson play catch. Now Fleming once more. 15 seconds here. Del City could certainly hold for the final shot of the quarter if they want. They'll go ahead and fire, though. Johnson for 3. Clock comes. It wanted to roll out, but it stays true. Bobby Lewis 3-ball, and Collinsville in no hurry. Looks like that's going to probably end the quarter, and it does. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. So a big shot there. Del City gets it back down to 6. They were down by as much as 10.
But
it's
12.
a 6-point 12. You're right.
Yeah.
But it's just a 6-point game at the end of 3. Timeout, 4th quarter on the way. Collinsville by 6 in the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
All right, back here at the Titan Classic, 39-33, your score in favor of Collinsville on top of Del City, the final day of the Titan Classic. Pass deflected and out of bounds. It'll stay at this end with the Eagles.
So
it
may wear them out for their game later tonight, but I think now's when you got to really apply a lot of pressure for Del City. Although 6 points is certainly manageable, now you don't have any fouls on you, so you can commit fouls on the floor without free throws being attempted.
Yeah, Del City thankful for as I say that, there's a foul right there. Say thankful for the rule switch of a couple years ago where the fouls reset each quarter. But they get a quick one here in the final frame.
Coach Hatchett did not like that call.
It's on Black Wolf again, so that's the third on Black, and they're going to give him shots for it too. So
it wasn't the act. You know what? He did look like he was about to pass it. Is that Walters?
It's Circles.
Circles.
Three.
Yeah.
I would need to see it again.
They may be talking about that. Yeah, I think they're going to.
Not going to let him shoot.
I think he was in the act of passing. It's still a call you hate for Del City because it's the third on Black Wolf, and he was straight up. I don't think that was a good call. He was pretty vertical there.
So definitely worth noting, Black Wolf has probably been Del City's best player, at least in the second half, maybe all day.
Absolutely. Kamon Shaw had it going in the first half, but he's been very quiet this half.
Here's Normandin handing it off to Kavanaugh. He's at the free throw line now. Picked up his dribble, trying to find someone to help him out.
So
3-second call.
I didn't see he was in the paint. I guess he was. Again, this is how Del City catches up. They can really go in turbo mode on defense. And that's how they caught up and won games against Midwest City and Lawton MacArthur.
Jaden Johnson on the wing off the feed from Shaw. Johnson going to go from way deep here. No good off the back iron. Rebound, though. Johnson tipped it to Black Wolf, and he can't quite get the roll, but he's bumped and fouled. So a good job by Tavon Johnson just to tip it over to Caleb Blackwolf, who then went hard, strong up to the rim, and got hit, and he'll shoot a couple of free throws at the Toonie Bias House's charity stripe.
I think Tavon Johnson came real close to a loose ball foul, but they didn't call that. And sometimes I wonder if there's a little, makeup game there with refs. If they're second guessing in their minds that Caleb Blackwolf foul. I'm going to see Tay Johnson go out. Sometimes he goes by Tay.
McAllister going to come in and replace him. Meanwhile, Blackwolf missed the first free throw. It's also just the first foul on Brevin Walters on that play, so not a factor there yet for the Cardinals. Blackwolf splits the trip. Goes back down to 5. Del City has whittled their way inch by inch. Still some work to be done, but certainly still in this game with 7 minutes to go. There's Normandin putting it on the floor, trying to get around Shaw. He'll spin on him, feeds it off in the corner. Pump faking was Circles. Back to Normandin. Across, open look at a three for Brevin Walters. Clock comes. Boy, Brevin Walters, a big shot there. And when you need a big shot, that's where you go if you're Collinsville right now, number 0.
Yeah, there was a bit of an adventure for them, but they stayed composed as Del City was applying all kinds of pressure again. They found the open man.
Johnson slips underneath the Black Wolf, and he's blocked. Diving after this Kavanaugh to go out of bounds and stay with the Eagles. That was a heck of a play by Kavanaugh on the block, and then quite the effort to dive after that and try to save it. Couldn't quite do it, but all around, quite an effort from Walton Kavanaugh. Taven Johnson back in. He's going to replace Fleming.
Just give him a quick breather.
Johnson on the wing. To the top, Shaw. 6:15 to go. McAllister, Johnson, pump fake, back to him. McAllister open look at a 3, left it short. Rebound pulled in.
Jump ball stays with Del City. They're going to any rebound Collinsville gets, Del City will pressure them immediately. And what Tay Johnson's doing, he's back on the timeline. I think he thought it was going to be Collinsville ball. Now we see a box set for the Eagles.
McAllister, long inbound to Johnson. 6 minutes to go. Shaw at the top. Left side, Jaden Johnson. Shaw driving. Tried to skip it to Johnson's. Knocked out of bounds. Not a real big passing lane there. Circles punched it out.
We've seen Del City players try to get to the middle of the paint there and then dump it off to Tavon Johnson that just hasn't been open. That's probably not the way to get him the ball. The lane gets clogged right away.
Long pass to Johnson, almost stolen by Anderson. Johnson able to save it, but now it's loose. Getting on the floor to
nice pass.
Skip it over to Johnson, and he's going to go to the rim, and he's fouled. That was a hectic sequence that ended up working out for the Eagles.
This is something I've said many times, especially in this classic. You go left, you want to have enough confidence in your left hand to try to finish there. If Tavon Johnson did, he may have been able to get a three-point play. But he went with his right. It's just a harder shot to make. He did draw a foul, though.
Second foul on Kavanaugh. Oh, wow, that free throw hit every part of the rim possible, but ends up popping out. Second team foul on Collinsville in this fourth quarter.
A simple thing that makes you feel like it's just not your day. Not your morning. Maybe it'll be their night.
Split the trip there. Another break for Johnson. He'll come out. Graham will replace him. We haven't seen Graham a ton in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, his confidence has to be shaky right now with some of the shots he's missed.
Frustrating game for him. But he can still make things happen with his athleticism when he flies around the court. 7-point game. Circle stripped. I think that was McAllister got the hand on it, but Circle sticking with it, end up picking it up, and look what I found, an easy layup.
Yeah, it was amazing they even got that strip. They don't have Tate Johnson in, so he's kind of their interior defender. A big shot
three
there.
Here for Shaw Clackams. That's a Bobby Lewis three ball. Shaw hit 2 in the first half. It's a big one there, and it's back down to 6 with 5:07 to go. We have a timeout on the floor. It is going to be a full, so we'll take it 2. Cardinals leading by 6, trying to hang on. The Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Back at Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. 5:07 to go in this game 2 of day 3 for second of 7 on OSN today. Del City and Collinsville locked in a good one. Cardinals leading the Eagles by 6 points right now, 44-38 with 5:07 to play. Appreciate everyone being tuned in on a Saturday afternoon. Collinsville contingent from up there in Tulsa didn't make the trip. Hopefully dialed in here on OSN. Long pass ahead to Normandin. He somehow ended up saving it on the baseline and then got bumped and fouled.
Good play for Collinsville. They ran a great half-court or full-court press break. Pass was a little bit too in front of Normandin, so he couldn't collect himself in time to get a layup, and then that was a good attempt at a jump ball by Jaden Johnson. Again, they have to do that. They have to try to get jump balls. Another good play that they just didn't make.
Goes to Circles. He couldn't finish it. That was the third foul, by the way, on Jaden Johnson. Just the second team, though. Does end up hurting them in the immediate, at least, since it's a 6-point game still, and they have the ball back. Here's Johnson scooping it to Grammer, trying to, and it was deflected and stolen by Kavanaugh. Cardinals have it back, still up 6, trying to hang on here and get a nice win to close out their week at the Titan Classic. Anderson feeds it right side to Kavanaugh, and he just lost the handle. Johnson now tipping it to Blackwolf. We're going to get a tie-up here, I would assume, and we do. Arrow keeps it down here with the Collinsville Cardinals. Anderson in the corner. Gives it off to Walters, trying to shake McAllister. And Johnson comes over, and some more contact. It's going to be the 4th foul on Jaden Johnson. 3rd team foul on the Eagles, so just one more to give the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's making otherwise good gambles, but because he's made enough of them, he's in foul trouble, so he'll come out. He's, again, probably, along with Kaman Shaw, their best three-point shooters.
Mm-hmm.
People may look at this and wonder why Del City doesn't play defense like this the whole game, but this would wear you out.
Yeah, and you got
especially when you got
another
game.
Yeah. Turn on a shot here, doesn't go for circles, so the Eagles are still hanging in here. They're down just 6. We've got to find a way to get a groove offensively before it's too late. Only half a quarter to go. Here's Graham. Kick out in the corner. Good look for Shaw to 3. Clackums. 4th Bobby Lewis 3-ball for Kaman Shaw. It's been a frustrating game for Del City, but they're back within 1 bucket at 44-41. Timeout taken. It's a full. We'll take it 2. 3:55 to go. Cardinals by 3 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Back at Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray with you on OSN. Fun one here on a Saturday afternoon between 2 really good programs. 2 teams that were in the state tournament a year ago, Collinsville and Del City. Cardinals leading the Eagles by 3 and have the ball just past the midway point of this 4th and final quarter. Walters got hounded and forced a turnover. McAllister and Johnson in there to force that. Eagles have it back. Here's McAllister, scoop layup attempt. Not going to roll home. It's loose. Scooped up Johnson. Layup good.
Man, they just stay around. And that's why Deshaun McAllister plays. That he gets those type of deflections and steals. We haven't really seen a lot of that. So we have some picture problems we're going to have fixed. But that's why he's in. We'll see if he can do it again. We still have a foul to give.
Turnover and a fast break for Caleb Blackwolf. And he's bumped and fouled again. So this should be free throws coming for Blackwolf. With 3:07 to go, that could give Del City the lead. Boy, what a wild turn of events. Collinsville's been in control in this second half. Looks like they're actually not going to give him free throws here. I thought it was on the shot, but they're going to say this was not in the act of shooting.
So both teams with a foul to give. Boy, Del City, they're close to taking the lead here with 3 full minutes to go.
Stunning. I mean, this was all Collinsville in this second half, but you kind of said it. Eagles did a good job. Hang close enough. That good run could get him there. And there you go. Through some contact, Blackwolf puts it down, and the Eagles have the lead with 2:53 to go.
And they're still pressing.
Normandin getting up, poked loose, able to get it back. Long pass ahead is stolen. Del City pressure on defense just giving Collinsville nightmares right now. It's another turnover. Right now, they're not speeding up Collinsville. It's another word. I don't even know what to call it. But they have Collinsville just flustered. It's a good way to put it. Shaw's floater didn't go, but the rebound pinballs around, ends up in the hands of Graham. Del City's going in turbo mode, and a mode that Collinsville just is not equipped for, at least not yet. Maybe they'll start to adjust. There's still a lot of time. McAllister out near half court. Del City, all of a sudden the clock their friend. They're not going to be in any rush, up by 1. Now Collinsville has a foul to give, and Del City not a good free throw shooting team. So a lot of twists and turns left in this one. 2 minutes. Shaw getting around his defender for a moment. He'll give it up to McAllister at the top of the key. Right side Blackwolf. He'll fire on the 3 ball. Rims out. Rebound Graham. Put back for Graham. Won't roll home. It's still loose. Johnson able to save it. Buys him another chance. And they'll slow play. Slow down. What a huge rebound for Graham. Been a frustrating game for him, but that was a big board. All this clock coming off is courtesy of him. And he's got the ball now. up by 1, 90 seconds left. Here's McAllister going to go to the rim, poked away by Circles out of bounds, and it's going to be Collinsville ball.
That's what you worry about. McAllister can, with the ball, sometimes he'll make a mistake with it, but Morton makes up for it with his defense. And even though Del City's protecting the lead now, not trying to come from behind, they are still pressing, and why not? It's been working the last several possessions, and they have a foul to give.
Schloman trying to get around Black Wolf, making it hard on him, but he does get it down the floor. Look at this one-on-one just all the way down to the rim, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Del City. Black Wolf very frustrated with that one, and they're going to tee him up. They're going to tee someone up. Oh, this is huge.
I would be curious if – now, we don't know what he said, but this is a bad sequence. The foul was not on Black Wolf. They're saying it's on McAllister.
I'll put it this way.
But I think the technical might be on Black Wolf.
I think it's on Taven Johnson is who I think.
Their point. Let's hear.
It's on Taven Johnson is who the technical foul is on.
Well, they announced the personal foul. It's on McAllister.
I'm certain it's on Johnson.
I thought they call a tech in Tavon's direction. You're correct.
Well,
but then they pointed, I thought, at Black Wolf.
The official, Coach Hatchett is talking to Tavon Johnson about it right now. The official came over and let Lenny Hatchett know what Johnson said. And I'll put it this way, Coach Hatchett didn't fight him on it after he told him what garnered the tech. And now he's obviously letting Taven Johnson know. So that's a huge obviously, I mean, I'm stating the obvious. Massive sequence as in a one-point game with 1:11 to go. Aiden Anderson gets 2 free throws. He hits them both. Cardinals now lead by 1, and they've got the ball here.
Just a horrible time for a technical.
There's also the 4th foul on Del City, so the Cardinals are in the bonus now as well.
You're all right. It's Tay Johnson.
That's his 3rd. He'll take a seat now. I think it's just frustration. Del City, the foul game has been a little bit not on their side. Again, not saying their calls were wrong, but so you're getting frustrated in a close game, and got to find a way to avoid it boiling over there as he picks up a 10-foot pass, and now another foul on the Eagles. That would have been an easy layup for the lead, but they're going to get Johnson, and that's going to be the 5th foul on Jaden Johnson. Boy, that's another tough call, and Coach Hatchett had hand in face. And that's not only is it not a turnover for a bucket, Johnson fouls out, but also now you're in the bonus, so it's going to be free throws for Cal Schloman.
Yeah, that's a problem when you try to come from behind. You can only do it for so long before the run stops. And also, when you're doing that, you're going to probably get some good players in foul trouble, and that's what happens here. Demarion Turner will replace Jaden Johnson, not the shooter he is, and we may be looking at a 3-point lead for Collinsville, so you want 3-point shooting. That would be Kamon Shaw, but not much else. Well, Black Wolf hit a 3.
Big free throws for Cal Schloman, and he hits the first one. Lead goes back to 2 with 1:11 to go.
I think that Jaden Johnson, he got called for a foul because of where his hands were when he got the steal, and the rest were just very sensitive to that.
Coach Hatchett having a long, extended conversation with the official there in that last break. Trying to make sure everything's on the same page. Both free throws are good for Schloman.
That was going to be a 1-point lead. Jaden Johnson was going to have an easy layup.
Instead, you're down 3. 4-point swing on one call.
And you see,
not saying it's the wrong call, just a big call.
Tavon Johnson will be back in, replacing McAllister. Again, that was a big turnover there when McAllister got the ball stripped and then hit it out of bounds.
Final minute, Tavon Johnson is back in the game after his brief sit-down. Turner over to Shaw. Does he try to put up a shot to tie it? Ends up with Graham for 3. Left is short. Long rebound, though, comes out to him. Offensive board, a second chance. Shaw's going to fire from way deep. Air ball. Black Wolf saves it, but he throws it right to Normandin. 40 seconds to go. Eagles need to force a turnover or foul or something, and it's going to be a foul, and more free throws coming for the Cardinals as Austin Normandin will go to the line and shoot 2. And now at this point, the Eagles are at the mercy of Collinsville either turning it over or missing some free throws, which is very possible in high school basketball.
Yeah, that 3 by Kamon Shaw was not needed. Even though Graham has struggled shooting, his 3-point look was actually pretty decent. As that's a 2-score game.
So give Collinsville credit. A big rally by Del City to take the lead by 1. Collinsville has responded and calmly gone on a 6-0 run to get the lead back to 5. Del City needs points in the worst way. Turner with it across half court. Eagles got to go. Shaw going to his left, hands it off to Graham. Now Turner again. Turner going to go strong, gives it to Johnson, back to Shaw. Shaw in the lane, scoop layup attempt will go. That was a really tough shot, but he does get it to fall. Coach Hatchett smartly takes a timeout to save himself a lot of clock.
Well, it's not just that. He needs to set up his defense. He's going to want McAllister back in, I bet.
It's a full timeout with 17.2 to go.
So it's a matter of, can they force a turnover? Because with 3-point deficit, you may have to foul, but you don't want to at first because it just takes one free throw to make it back up to 2 scores.
So resetting some things. 17.2 seconds left. Collinsville leading Del City 50-47. Eagles got 1 timeout left. Cardinals have 2. The arrow is with Del City. That could come into play. If they can get a tie-up here, they would get the ball. Also worth remembering, Cardinals still have a foul to give. Del City does not. Collinsville's in the bonus the rest of the way. So we'll see what happens. Can the Eagles find a way to force a turnover here and get themselves at least a look at the tie before the time is over? We'll find out in a moment.
So Tate Johnson will be out. He came back in. He'll be out for defense. And what you might see, don't be surprised if you see it, not a clean steal, but a scramble for the loose ball. And whoever can get on it first, the coach will call a timeout. Collinsville still has 2, so they've actually used their timeouts pretty well as Coach Anderson. Del City still has 1. So if there is a loose ball off a scramble, whoever can fall on it first, and that coach will yell timeout. We see a fancy play there. And that worked because it fooled Del City, got an open player. We're still going to try to trap first.
This is Anderson. Ball's on the floor. It's loose. What's the call? They're going to say Collinsville got a timeout in.
I don't like that.
Del City very frustrated. They thought
Coach Hatchett not happy either.
They thought they had the tie-up. And again, like I mentioned, they had the arrow. So if you get the tie-up, that would be Del City ball. But they're going to let Collinsville sneak a timeout in with 10.1. I don't know. It's tough. You have to have possession. Did they have possession to be able to call that timeout?
I don't think they had possession.
So a big call. It's obviously just a frustrating game right now for Del City because, again, not saying one way or another with the officials, but if you're Del City, you're feeling like you've gotten the wrong end of some big 50-50 calls that have kind of determined the way this is going down the stretch. And obviously, too, and again, not saying it's wrong, but that technical, that is the big play of the game right now. I mean, that was a massive sequence.
The technical and then the foul called on Jade Johnson.
Yes. Because even with the technical, if that foul isn't called, Del City gets a 1-point lead there. Just been a couple of really tough whistles going against Del City down the stretch of this game. Still a little bit of time left, though. 10.1. They still have the arrow if they can find a way to get a tie up here.
Now Collinsville cannot do that trick play. They can't throw it into someone else out of bounds. Well,
they get it in. There was a horn.
You got to reset the clock now.
I don't know if they were ready. I don't know if like the everyone was just ready for that. There was still music playing. The clock wasn't set.
Well, they got to reset the clock. I thought it was 10 and 7
works.
cents.
This is in the favor of Del City this time because the Collinsville got that in cleanly. It's at 9 right now. It was at 10.1 before. They'll bump it up to 10. That tenth of a second could be big. There they go. Oh, not 101.
Well, that's how they manually add it. They change it to 101. People watching can see it. Yeah, there you
go. 10.1 is correct. That's where it was. So Collinsville's got to get this in again. They've trusted Cal Schloman to do these inbounds, and he's going to have to do it again. He will do so. Oh, contact! And it's a foul on McAllister.
No, it's called out of bounds, I think.
I think it's a foul.
No, look at the way the ref's standing.
Yeah, you're right. I thought McAllister, okay.
And Blackwolf and McAllister frustrated that was not called off of Collinsville.
Schloman gets it in Normandin, and now Schloman fouled. I thought it was off Collinsville, truly. I mean, it looked like he just lost out of bounds after he got bumped. That's why I thought it was probably going to be a foul, which I don't think would have necessarily been wrong. But anyway, 4 fouls now on McAllister, and free throws here for Schloman. If he can make one, pretty much ices it. We'll see. And he does.
Well, Del City has a play they ran against Lawton High where they can shoot a quick three, but that's what they have to do. They have where they off a full court play. They're gonna have
Missed
to do something
a second.
like that.
Rebound comes out. Schloman.
What's this call?
It's the call on Collinsville. It is, but see, this could have been huge.
Throws, yeah.
I was going to say that they had one more to give. If that was free throws, that changes everything, but it's not. It's just a regular on-the-floor foul. Look, they were going to give Del City free throws there. Give credit to Brevin Walters adding to his player of the game. They were. I mean, I'm sure somebody would have noticed, but he immediately said, no, that's only 4. And so Del City's going to have to inbound it. Collinsville's going to take a timeout here with 5.8. Del City obviously has to save their timeout because
I think Collinsville's doing Del City a favor because Del City, if they're going to get a quick shot, they need to be organized.
They get on the same page, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Del City has to save. They have one left, and they have to save it because.
Well, now they're saying it's a Del City timeout.
It has to be Collinsville. Well, it is. They pointed toward Collinsville.
Okay.
Because if Del City took their timeout, game's over, essentially. Because if you get a bucket, the clock's going to run out.
Exactly. So I would think they would hold on to it. We'll see if they adjust it on the scoreboard. But again, now Del City can run something. They need a quick shot. They need a catch and a shot. They're going to go 3/4 of the court. And then they can call a timeout and then hope that they can get a steal and score.
It is worth noting, again, like Jordan said, they put on the board that Del City took the timeout. Surely not. I saw the official point toward Collinsville. So
yeah, this is big, too.
Because, again, if that timeout's taken by Del City, this game is essentially over because a bucket and the clock is going to run, and that's going to be it. Inbound goes to Shaw. He's going to put up a quick 3. Clock comes. Clock will run.
It was a Del City timeout.
It was. I'm not sure what happened there. And that's the exact point I was making. So that's it. I don't know what just happened. That's bizarre. The 3 for Shaw is good, makes it 51-50, but it didn't matter because with less than 5 seconds, Collinsville doesn't have to inbound it. That's your game. So a weird and kind of anticlimactic finish to what was a really good game. But Collinsville wins it by 1, 51-50. That was a strange ending, Jordan. Yep. I don't know what to say about that.
Collinsville should be awarded a player or two as all tournament.
Does Del City get a player for
Well, they're not done yet. They're not done yet.
That's true.
Let's see who plays well in the next game.
You want to give out the Triple Elite screen printing while we wait here? Triple Elite screen printing player of the game, find world-class designs and hot new styles. I think it's got to be Brevin Walters, right? He was tremendous.
Is that who's getting
the guy who just got the award is Aiden Anderson. He also could have been in the mix for that today as well. He was also very good, but he gets all tournament. But I think Brevin Walters, as far as this game in particular, was excellent for Collinsville, and he's our Triple Elite screen printing player of the game. So a weird game, an entertaining game, but it ends up on an odd finish with Collinsville winning it 51-50. A big win for the Cardinals. They were 0-2 this week at the Titan Classic, but they salvaged their weekend with a big win over Del City. The Eagles, meanwhile, will try and bounce back. The good news is you don't have to sit on it for too long, as they'll be back in action about 6 hours from now against Edmond North tonight at 7 o'clock. All right, that's it. I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's been fun for me at the Titan Classic. Still 5 more games to go, as Edmond Memorial and Sand Springs girls coming up in about 10 minutes. Tracy Mussett will slide in and have that game with Jordan in just a few moments. That's it. We'll see you for Game 3 of the day in just a few. Good night, everyone, from the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.